Welcome back, my beautiful people from all around the world. Through the power of the internet, your creepy uncle is here, and we are doing a Diablo 3 video. Finally, after the last few days, I was working frantically to try and finish off 2016's Doom game, which is fantastic. Bethesda absolutely nailed it. There was only a couple cons with the game that I had, but if y'all want to check me out playing the game live and also talking about some of the pros and cons about it and what I think could improve it, you can definitely check those videos out. They're the last few that I've uploaded just before this one, so you can definitely enjoy that. I'll talk a little bit about the new game coming out as well, Doom Eternal, which is coming out real soon. But more about Doom in a future video. Right now, we are doing Challenge Rift 91. We're back doing Diablo 3, what I love the most. And this is the Crusader class. So let's pop in and see what we're dealing with. So if you didn't know by now, you can click on the soul mirror here. It will reveal everything that you need to know. Gear, canise, skills, passives, everything. So I can tell immediately this is the Seeker of the Light set. So we're going to quickly go through the set bonuses. I'm going to go through the mechanics and everything because I know a lot of people like me going through all that. For those of you that don't want to listen to this, you can just fast forward and get into the Rift action because we're going to be completing it together. But let's have a look. For 2 pieces of this set, the bonus is every use of Blessed Hammer that hits an enemy reduces the cooldown of Falling Sword and Provoke by 1 second. For 4 pieces, you take 50% less damage for 8 seconds after landing with Falling Sword. So we're going to be using Falling Sword at least every 8 seconds to make sure that we get that 50% less damage buff. Definitely great for survivability. For 6 pieces, increase the damage of Blessed Hammer by 12,000%. Are you serious? And Falling Sword by 1,000%. So this is probably part of the buffs that we received in the last patch for Diablo 3, and it definitely is a lot more viable for the Crusader class. So I actually haven't tested this out yet after it's been buffed, so I'm looking forward to actually doing this challenge rift. So looking at these other items, the player that actually completed this challenge rift has done a pretty good job. He's got Gabriel's Van Braces here, Guard of Johanna's Argument. They all connect well with Blessed Hammer, so we're going to be doing a lot of extra damage. He's using Traveler's Pledge with Compass Rose and the Convention of Elements there for some elemental damage. Now, Sacred Harness, so Judgment gains the effect of the Debilitate rune and is cast at your landing location when casting Falling Sword. So again, this one connects with Falling Sword, and these are the main 2 abilities we're going to be using. Falling Sword for damage, yes, but mostly we're going to be using it for that damage reduction buff, and then your Blessed Hammer is just going to really annihilate everything in sight. Having a quick look at Canise Cube, let's keep on moving. Faithful Memory, Leoric's Crown, Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. For the skills, Blessed Hammer, which will be our primary damage dealer, we're using Falling Sword. Again, does damage, but we're mostly using this for the 50% damage reduction, which is definitely handy. Akarat's Champion, big cooldown, but definitely will be a boost for both survivability and for damage increasing, but you're going to be very limited because of the big cooldown. Provoke, we're going to gain some Wrath back when we start running out because we're going to be using Falling Sword, Blessed Hammer. Both are going to be using our Wrath. So every now and then when Provoke is up, make sure the enemies are around you and cast your Provoke, and that will regenerate. You get full Wrath each Provoke if you time it in a grouped with grouped enemies around you. Laws of Valor, again, we want to keep this up as much as possible. As soon as you see that it can be activated, reactivate it. Basically, it increases attack speed and critical damage for us as we progress through. And of course, Steed Charge, increasing movement speed and our mobility throughout the challenge rift. Definitely handy to try and get to those elite packs quicker. If you really want to get an awesome time, then you can just like really time. This is one of those challenge rifts. You can just go from elite pack to elite pack. There's heaps of elites scattered throughout the challenge rift. Heaps of different ways that you could actually try and tackle this challenge rift to really beat the time, and lots of different routes that you can take. So it's totally a personal thing. If you just want the materials, well then that's alright too. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's going to be very difficult to fail, even with or without my guide. You'd be okay, believe me. The passives real quick further. Blunt, Finery, and Holy Cause. So as soon as I enter the challenge rift, I mean, you can definitely use your Steed Charge here for mobility and speed increasing, but once you come across enemies, you want to use Falling Sword, activate your Blessed Hammer, and everything dies. Pretty much simple as that. But also make sure that your Laws of Valor has been cast either before you attack or while you're attacking. is fine as well. Just make sure you keep it active. And when you're running out, like as you can see, Blessed Hammer uses quite a bit of wrath there. Bang, use provoke. Even with no enemies there, we gain some spirit back, but sorry, some wrath. I get my resources mixed up sometimes. So we gain the wrath back even with no enemies there, but if there is enemies around you, you gain a lot more back. So for each enemy that's around you. And of course, like I said, Akarat's champion, when you can pretty much use it when you come across an elite, but it's not going to matter because Blessed Hammer is just going to kill everything pretty much instantly. Just don't forget to keep Laws of Valor up whenever possible. But hey, honestly, even if you forget, it's not going to get any more difficult. The most important part is as soon as Falling Sword's up, make sure you cast it towards an enemy or enemies and then use your Blessed Hammer, because that way it gives you that damage reduction. Otherwise you can take a bit of damage and you'll die. So Laws of Valor, even though like it's important to keep it up, it's not one of the most important parts in this challenge rift. It won't really affect your progress through it. Sure, you might get a bit of time if you make sure that it's up, but really you just want to focus on having Blessed Hammers up, using Falling Sword, and then if you're out of your resource, your wrath, get some enemies around you, and then bang, use your provoke, and you'll get wrath back. There's only one enemy there, so that's why we didn't get like a full wrath resource refund there. So you get the idea. That's the mechanics. Pretty easy. Falling Sword, Blessed Hammer. That's pretty much all you need to know. When you need to, use your steed charge. Alright, let's go on in and do this one together. It's pretty easy. I don't think you'll fail, especially if you've watched this guide first. Let's go on in. Alright, once you're in, I use steed charge, Falling Sword straight away, and then Blessed Hammer. Then I activate my Laws of Valor, but it's not something I really prioritize, because as you just saw, you smash everything so quickly, it's not that super important. What is making sure you're casting those Falling Swords so you get that damage reduction, and Blessed Hammer just takes care of the rest. Then you just cast Provoke when you're running out of your Wrath resource, and that keeps your resource up. And that's pretty much it. Those three skills are the most important. Like, you can pretty much do it just focusing on those three, not even worrying about Laws of Valor, and then just steed charging, just to charge through areas that are a bit quiet, or just areas that you want to really progress quickly through. But just be careful not to spam too many Blessed Hammers at once, because it does use a lot of resource. It can really use most of your wrath, and you can find yourself with no wrath. But then you do have provoke. It's very hard to actually run out of wrath, but just don't cast it like idiotically. Do it wisely. And right now this is just my second run through. It's one of like those painful maps that I don't like. It's like a big maze, this one, but you know, I'm not even focusing on the route, so as you can see, you can just randomly jump in here, kill things, keep moving forward, and you're gonna pass this challenge rift. We're pulling ahead of time nicely there. It's super easy. Y'all shouldn't have a problem with that. I'm just hopefully here to save you some time if some of you don't understand the Crusader mechanics or Seeker of the Light, Blessed Hammer. If you haven't played a Blessed Hammer Crusader before, well, you've come to the right place. I'm explaining everything, and it should help you just jump in there and be able to do it like in one shot. Jeez, I've talked a lot. I'm starting to like get like a bit of a sore throat. So now I'm just wondering, should we go back? Yeah, we'll go back into this little area and see. Oh, here we go. We've got 2 elite packs here. God damn, lucky we went here. And a pylon. Shit. Another elite! Jeez, I'm glad we went this way. Don't forget to pick up those orbs. I usually miss one every challenge rift. I don't think I've missed one yet. But it just goes to show if it's really easy, you can still miss orbs and pass it so easily, or even get up pretty good time still. Alright, so let's just make sure there's no elites here. Once again, like if you really want to get a really awesome time in the leaderboards, you can just plan your route. Like we didn't have to go that way, there's no elites. Could just went around there, we could have been on the next floor now. We would have been killing the Rift Guardian now, to be honest with you. But I'm not too fussed about the time, I'm not going to be competitive. We all have lives to live, I've got to get to work. So as you can see, we've smashed the time anyway. So we need one more elite pack, there it is. And voila! The Rift Guardian is here, and just keep your Blessed Hammers up. Any cooldowns you have, make sure you use them. Nearly one-shot him there. God damn it, he knocked us back twice. And that's it. That is this week's Challenge Rift. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all so much. Like I mentioned, I've been playing Doom a fair bit lately, so check out those videos if you want to see your creepy uncle play some Doom. I've also recently just watched Captain Marvel, or Captain Marvel. It was... Alright, I'm not even going to talk about it now, but the review is going to be coming up real soon. I don't know, I'll definitely do it after this video. I just don't know if I'll have time to record it today before work. I'll probably have to do it after work or in the morning, because sometimes I'm just too exhausted and I don't want people to see me exhausted after a hard day's at work, because your creepy uncle works real hard. But I'll definitely be talking about Captain Marvel. The review will be up in the next 24 hours or so make sure you come back for that. As always, if you haven't subscribed, that's always optional here. There's a lot of content that I go through with movies, TV shows, gaming. The biggest focus is always Diablo 3, which a lot of you already know, but your creepy one here likes to check out different stuff and do something different every once in a while and just keep everyone entertained. Either way, if you don't want to subscribe, just come back and visit this hairy, creepy guy. I love you all so damn much.